All right, so thanks for coming into another video. This problem actually started the same day that I lost my ability to use reverse in the car, but it's actually a different problem, or at least I believe it to be completely unrelated. So ever since I got the car, like for 2-3 seconds in second gear, like 20 mile an hour, my speedo would just drop from 20 down to 0, and then shift, and it goes right back to normal, whatever. Weird, but never really cared much about it. So on the way home last night, cruise control would not work, and then I threw a check engine light. Well, shoot. So check that code. The code was a P0503, which is an intermittent signal on the vehicle speed sensor, the VSS. So if I don't have my VSS, then I don't have cruise control. So um, that's going to solve both of those problems with my check engine light, as well as not having cruise control anymore. So this video, we're going to describe, or we're going to go through what the VSS is, where it is, how to replace it, and that's it. All right, so good old GM parts. So this is going to be GM 1236945 It's for the vehicle speed sensor, which is on the back of the differential of this car. So if you're looking at the back of the car, you look upper right on top of the diff case. That's where this sensor is going to be. So we'll go ahead and get the sensor unboxed, get the car up in the air, and start trying to show you where this actually is. All right, so this sensor's all we got. So this is a sensor that we have. Likely going to be a 10 millimeter socket to get the bolt off. There's going to be a small 2-pin connector. I do find that it is helpful to understand what this looks like and how it's kind of assembled before taking the old one off. This is going to be on top of something where I don't have good visibility, especially with the mufflers being in the way. So yeah, this is what it looks like. All right, so we got the car up in the air. We're gonna go ahead and roll ourselves underneath and see how or where we're gonna be able to see this thing. So for those that are not as familiar, we have our differential and then our transmission. So on the top side of this diff is where we're going to have this sensor. So I don't know if we can see it. No, it doesn't look like we'll be able to see it. So to the best of my knowledge, it's going to be right in that space where I'm trying to tap with this wrench. I don't know the best way to get to it or to see it or anything. All right, so we're on the front side of the axle right now. I'm pretty sure that this connector is going to be on the right side and below of that exhaust tube. So I'm just going to go ahead and shove the phone up there and see if we can see it. If not, it's time to throw a glove on and start feeling around. There should be something up there. All right, so you actually can see it fairly easily from the front side of the car. I don't know which way it's going to be easier to get your hand up there to do it. Depends on the size of your hands. I think it looks like I'm going to do it from the front side of the axle and reaching backwards, just like that camera did. And yeah, it's 2-pin connector. And I really believe that's a 10 millimeter bolt. So that's what I'm going to take with me. I'm gonna throw gloves on just because there's a lot of dirt. There's a lot of dirt up there. Safety glasses definitely have to go on because definitely dirt going to come down. That being said, I don't have a good way to actually film this. It's one bolt and a connector. I'll throw another video. Or here's another clip of what it actually looks like on the car from someone who's dropped the whole cradle. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do it. I'll come back once I have the connector off and new one on. It's really not going to be much. It's take one out, put one in, button it back up. All right, so we got it out. I don't see any major defects, but definitely just a whole lot of crud, especially around that that seal right there, that O-ring. So I think I made the right call, just go ahead and getting one and replacing it. That being said, it is a bit of an effort to get to and get out. You don't need to take the rear of the car down. You don't need to take the mufflers down. That would be helpful, but I don't think you need to. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this back in, and then I'll share kind of my tips and tricks on how to get this out and get this in the easiest way. All right, so I definitely broke another receiver for these mics. Barely working now, but anyways, yeah, so getting to it, you saw that first clip. Basically, if your head is underneath the seat, feet going out this way, you have space to be able to reach your arm up, and you can actually go from either side, depending on what you're needing to do, to get to the sensor and to get to the bolt. So I'm basically going to just hop on the floor on the creeper and kind of reenact what I was able to do and what worked for me. All right, so from about roughly right here, my waist was roughly with the tires. To unplug the sensor, I think that should be your first step. So unplugging the sensor, I was able to kind of come up around the transmission through the gap near the exhaust and pivot myself up to be able to reach all the way forward. So again, going over the top of the center of the transmission, you're gonna come a little bit over the center line, and you'll be able to find that plug, and it's quick, easy to disconnect. So I've got my Corvette on the first lock for the quick jacks. I had it on the highest, I couldn't reach anything. So again, if you're doing it on jack stands, it's maybe, I don't know, 6, 7, no, probably about 7 to 8 inches in the air. I barely had enough room to slide underneath with this creeper, so my hat would always hit the subframe. So depending how big you are, may impact that. Anyways, pivot my body up, reach, unplug the connector, cool. Switch around to the other side, took a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 10mm socket, doing the same dance, go up, get past the axle and go forward. Then you'll be able to feel where that actual 10mm is. Go ahead and once you're on it, you might have to pivot yourself up again. I did to be able to reach. Spin that off as soon as you get it loose. Just go ahead and do it by hand the rest of the way. And go ahead and take it out, take the sensor out. I found it was easier to take the sensor out from the right side, but when I was putting this new sensor back in, I didn't have the dexterity in my hand to get it oriented and place it in the hole. So all of this, excuse all the innuendos here, but all of this is doing it blind. You're not able to see anything. You're basically gonna take your hand up there, feel around to where the hole is. Don't stick your finger in the hole because that'll put dirt inside your differential. But anyways, once you're there, you can put the new sensor back in, drop it straight down, and you'll want to orient that plug roughly back this way. So again, if we're looking at a clock being, well, if 12 o'clock's over here, I'd want that plug to be at like 5 o'clock or so, the connector. And that gives me the best shot at taking, again, with my left hand, taking my screw, going back up there, finagling it, trying to find the hole in the bracket, and then trying to align the bolt with the hole in the bracket and the threaded hole on the diff. So again, you're just gonna play around and see when you feel it drop in, and then go ahead and get it tightened with your hand, then go back up with your 10mm and 1/4 inch drive, and slowly tighten that bad boy back in. Once it's tight, back to the right side, throw your connector on, you'll hear it click, slide yourself back out of the car. All right, so yeah, that's the completion of removing and replacing 2007 vehicle speed sensor. I'm pretty sure it's going to be applicable to all the C5 and C6 generation Corvettes. So anywhere from 97 all the way up to 2013. I think 2014 and the C7s will be very similar, if not the same as well. Yeah, if you do have access to a full height lift, that's going to make things easier. But again, you're still going to have it oriented so that you can actually get up and over and reach. If you don't have access to do that, then I'd say that your next best option would be to take the passenger side muffler down and be able to move that section of the exhaust off to the side, and I'll give you a nice, quick, easy shot in. I didn't want to mess with that, so I did it this way. All in all, it took me about 20 minutes to go from starting filming this to being done with it. It's a pretty straightforward thing once you find where your access point is and which arm and wrist hand combination works well for you. That's what I've got. That's pretty much it. Hopefully this is helpful. If you did find it helpful, please consider giving it a like or commenting what issues you might be having. I might be able to help talk you through those. Anyways, until next time, we'll see you.